Welcome back for another Minecraft video. Today we're going to be working on a couple farms in this episode. We are on Season 1, Episode 20, and we're going to be working on a bamboo farm, a pumpkin farm, and a melon farm, all kind of mixed into one. We're going to be finishing off this stairwell as well, putting up the wall, and I'm going to show you how to use a light sensor in a very effective way up towards the top. Before we get into the video, if you can do me a favor and change your quality settings, I want to ensure that you guys get the best quality for watching my videos. And if you like the video, please hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this to be able to help support the channel. If you're already supporting the channel, thank you very much. I appreciate you returning. And without further ado, let's get on into this episode. I've already done a bamboo farm in a previous episode, but I believe that wasn't really that well done just because I think that my audio is not doing so well. So in this one, hopefully this will be a little bit better. Plus, it's a different kind of way of doing it, and you'll see why, because we're using something other than observers to actually produce our bamboo. And what I'm going to show you here real quick is how this next farm is actually going to be operated, but we're actually using a light sensor. And so this will be a kind of a really exciting way to see how light sensors work. Anytime the light changes for the light sensor, the pistons will fire and it will harvest whatever is available at the time. You can have it switched to night or day to be turned on and off, but technically it won't matter because we have an observer here, and the observer notices a difference or a change in the light sensor. It will send a redstone signal down to the farm, and I guess we can drop down here. It'll send the redstone signal down to the farm. It makes this pretty productive farm, and so you can kind of get an idea of what this is going to look like. But let's get started on the build. We are going to need some sticky pistons to be able to do this build. Now we're going to be mirroring this completely, so there's going to actually be another bubble column right here. So one over here on this side, one over here on this side, and then again we'll do like one in the middle. So I'm going to put just some temporary, I mean you could use temporary blocks, but I'm going to put these lining all the way. And actually I need to go one over. Okay, because you don't want to put the redstone block right next to the hopper because it'll lock it up and not let it actually flow. So now we're breaking. I want to just make sure we're very clear on this. We're breaking these last ones because they were just a temporary block, and these have to be facing towards the minecart that's going to be placed right here. Alright, so I'm going to place this right here. Alright, so we'll get to that in a minute. Let's get back to the bamboo farm. I just want to have that line out because we didn't get the wall built yet. And then we'll get to the wall and get that all built out here in a second. But back to the bamboo farm. Now we're going to be using our slabs and place. It's just a straight line on this one, so not too bad. Come on. So, and then this rail is pretty simple, just one. I put a couple, but really all you need is one right there on that side. I just, again, with the chunks and whatnot, this is a little bit smaller than the sugarcane farm, but again, you can have similar issues. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the rails for this one, and that's not going to be connected to the other one. There's going to be a gap right here. But right above this area is where you want to put your grass blocks. You want to make sure that you're doing it where there's the 3 high space, just because I feel like it gives it a little bit more productivity. Okay, so we're going to do one temporary block and then have these go all the way across, same distance. And then these are, and then you can break this temporary block because we're going to be putting the water source block in there. Of course, if anything falls into here, just go to the end and it should be there. This is going to go out 4 blocks of grass or dirt. This is where the pumpkins and the watermelon are going to grow. And let's put some scaffolding up here so we can get up here. Alright, and then the water source blocks, which let me think here. Good way to get some. Yeah, we can just do this real quick. Make our infinite water source area of 4x4 or 2x2. Sorry. Break that. Break that. And you're set. Alright. So for this side, kind of like the sugarcane farm, you want to curve it and then go around like this. The reason why we're postponing the bamboo farm is because if you do this second, it just makes it a lot harder. I have to be honest. I'm gonna call myself out right now and tell you that I had to completely redo all this because I had to take it all apart and have to do what I'm doing right now. So we'll go on this side. Technically, you don't need this much water, so it's a little overkill, I guess, because you only need 1 water source per 4 blocks out. I'm just being extra careful. Alright, so that's all the water that you're going to need. You're not going to need to put water on this side because you have your 4 blocks out. It's going to take care of all of this area without any issues at all. And just get rid of your... Oh, crap. Probably shouldn't have done that. Oh well. Again, I'm not going to need any more water for a little bit. There's a river nearby. Not that big a deal. Alright, so now that we got that done, what we can do is put our glass blocks. I'm hoping I have some more in here. Yep. Need a decent amount. But you're going to need glass blocks all the way across. And then, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's get the light source block right here. And the glass underneath here. Okay, so you want it to be completely enclosed. And then right here, you're going to actually put a solid block. But before we get too far into that, we need to be able to plant our bamboo as well as get our carts put in here. I think I have 5, so let's get them all ready. Because if they start growing, then you have to break them. But what I do is I like planting. Oh dang it! That's what I didn't want to do. Alright, I like to plant them all and kind of see where they plant, because they're kind of they kind of plant in like a weird pattern. But as you can see, like there's some of them that kind of are really spaced apart, and then some of them kind of get really close together. Most of these are actually pretty far apart compared to some. But I try to like kind of look in and see which ones are closer or kind of close, which again, like I said, most of them are actually pretty close. Then I just like to nudge them in there and kind of move them where I think that the majority of the issues are probably going to lie. And then when you're planting a lot of bamboo, you'll kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. But again, if you have a whole bunch of iron, this is definitely not going to be an issue. This is just an extra precaution, really. Alright. Plus, I mean, kind of in the middle of this one, where you have a chance of having them grow a little bit taller, you're probably going to want an additional one in here just to ensure that you get the majority of them. So, and I have the extra one, so I might as well. Come on. Kind of nudge them apart there. Perfect. Alright, now we can get rid of these. If they go into the minecart hoppers, it's not a big deal. We'll just collect them at the end. We will need one more minecart hopper to go on the bottom. And then that should keep going forever and ever. Alright. Now the next step, honestly, I probably should have done this a little bit sooner, is planting all of our pumpkins and our watermelon, just so they can start growing. I do have a whole bunch of bone meal. If you need more than this, I mean, honestly, it'll start growing, and eventually it'll work itself out. So don't worry if you don't have them all fully grown. You can wait for the soil to get like kind of damp, or like a damp soil right here. You don't have to wait for it, but there's a chance that the seeds will not, like, they'll just pop out. But again, if you have your water source and you have an abundance of water, you're probably not going to have that issue. So I'm just going to line all of these. And my watermelon. And then I'm going to use as much of the bone meal as I can to try to get these fully grown so they'll start producing as quickly as possible. You can hold down your trigger, and it won't use more bone meal than necessary. See, as I'm doing this right here, it's only at 44, 41, anyway, and so on. But we want to do this before we get to the next step, because we're going to be putting the pistons on top of these. Nope, and I'm out. So again, this plant will just grow naturally and we won't have any issues. It's not that big a deal. Alright, so now we need our sticky pistons. And I believe, let's see if we can grow this, or put this, yep, perfect. All these facing inward towards the bamboo. Sorry. Alright, now the next step, we're actually going to have to tear out the dirt here to be able to get the next piston set in here, because you have to have them facing downward. This shouldn't cause any problems with your plants. They're just not going to be able to grow anywhere. And hopefully you don't break them. So just do the middle line here. Okay. And then all of these need to be facing downwards to be able to crush the pumpkins or break them so they can turn into a droppable item for the minecart hoppers to pick them up. But now that we got all these, just put your dirt back where they were. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll just put one here and 1, 4 in from the other side, and we'll call that good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Oh, come on. Stay where I want you. Alright. So now we can put the glass block back right there. And then you want a solid movable block, and in this case I just used the smooth sandstone. Any solid block will work. I just figured that this from the outside will look the best. Alright. So now just cover this all up with glass so none of it falls out. And that is the bamboo farm done, other than the redstone that we're going to be doing once we get the wall built up. But that's pretty much it. And honestly, pretty much it for the pumpkin and melon farm. We are going to go about 4 in from here. Might as well do some light sources in here as well. And then I just close this off with some glass, just to make sure that nothing ends up falling out. And cover that up. Cover this up. And there we go. I am going to put another thing of glass right here, and that's for the redstone to be able to sit on. Whoa. Okay. It's too high, and then actually I need the other type of materials because I want. All right, because the wall on the outside right here is gonna look funny if I don't. Okay. So, right? Doesn't seem right. Because it has to be open. Oh. This is where it is. This is where it is. I figured it out. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so the line goes right there. Alright. So the hopper actually goes right here. And that should align with 2, 3, 4. That should align with this perfectly. And then we'll put one right there and one in the top right here. And then we need to actually put a wall right here and a wall right there. And what this is going to do is we have to put one right here, one right there, and then we just break this top one. And then that leaves this this slant. And then you want it to hit a wall. So it will just hit it and the gravity will just bring it right back down. And then, okay, apparently doing that will make it do that. So you just have to have both of them attached first and then it'll... Hey, we all learned something at different spots there. Okay, and then this will go out like that, and then we'll break this one down here so we can put that lever right there. That should, yeah, perfect. So now we got this whole thing designed out to where the collection agency or the collection spot's going to be. I believe I put the levers in here. Perfect. Do not need this. Do not need that anymore. And put one lever right here. And one lever on the bottom over here. Perfect. We're not going to put the minecart hopper right there just yet. Let's get these figured out and lined out. So on this side, the opposite side, got one right there, one right there. Perfect. And then we want a straight line down the middle. And in this kind of situation, you kind of do need to use the redstone blocks, unless you have access to the bottom to be able to put the levers on it, which in this case I don't, and that's the reason why I was using the redstone blocks. But if you do have access to something underneath, or if there's spaced apart like we had with the sugarcane farm, you can use the levers. But in this case, because they're so close together and we don't have access to actually put a lever on the bottom, we're just going to use the redstone blocks. Okay, so we don't need any more redstone blocks though. That should be enough. Let's start right here and work our way this direction. The one thing though that I have noticed is I'm gonna have to break this one for whatever reason when I come over here to curve it. I do not understand why, because it's a different, I mean, you can't curve that, but for whatever reason, the next, you'll see what I'm saying. It wants to curve into itself for some reason, oddly enough, or curve into the powered strip. I don't know if that's just a new update. I don't remember ever doing that before. But yeah, I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. But I usually like to start one side and kind of work my way around. That way it doesn't have that issue. But for whatever reason, it does have that issue when you get over there. And because this kind of has a bigger gap, I kind of put the power rails a little bit closer to that, so it picks it up a little bit. Alright, I'll do a couple more just because I have enough, but see what I mean? Oh, it actually did it that way. Okay, when I did it over on the other side, I even put it right there and it wouldn't do that. It wouldn't curve. I had to destroy that one to actually get it to curve over the way I wanted it to. So that's interesting how it did that. Okay, that should be good. There, you could put, you know, I actually do want to put 2. Should still have enough to do my other side and everything, so. Alright, so now that we got that built, now we just need another minecart hopper. Get this set and going. And perfect. Now that's going. Alright, now last but not least from this video, we're going to build this wall up and then get the actual redstone from up there all the way down to where it needs to be. So for that, we're going to need some more of the cut sandstone, some more of these, which we'll have to make up some more, that's fine. Little workstation right here. Oh, I'm working on it. Silly me. Alright, and then I believe, what else do we need? We will need some redstone, or not redstone, these bricks. Oh yeah, I already have a whole bunch right here. And stairs, I don't even think I need slabs except for the top part. Alright, so for this needs to go all the way up to the roof, so let's go around all the way up, and yeah, and this right there goes like that. Well, we'll leave it open so I can have access to it. So on this side, we have the one This is why I didn't do the staircase on stream, because I knew it was going to take a long time to figure it out. Okay, so that should be that. I have to eat here soon. Cover all this. I will be putting some light sources up in the top there. Once we get up there, actually, I'll probably do that. once we go up there to finish up the redstone. Yep. Okay. So 1, 2, and 1, 2, and then okay. So now on this, we did the stair window. One stair, one stair, and then we wanted to make like a square window right here, just to kind of, oh, right there. Brake lightly. Okay. One stair right there, switched around, one stair. And then, I don't think it matters, I think I just went straight up with this anyway. One upside down stair like that. Just put this right there like that, and then, yep, perfect. And then do the same thing for the other side, but for the bottom, I kind of left like this little window here. Like that, perfect, okay. Build this out. Yep, perfect, okay. And this just gets filled in. So this is going to go all the way to the top. And then the square window again. Bam. And then on the top of here, finish that off like that. And then when we get over here, I might actually, since I've already kind of went all the way across with this crown molding, I'm probably going to break this up actually and change that. Here. Let's get the crown molding finished. Let's see if I can do this here. There we go. And build that there. Build that there. Build that there. Of course, I will have to fix this. We'll put some more light sources in here as well. We will need a walk in here though. So this is where the water is going to be coming up, and then it'll be flowing into this area. I might have to break this. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to or not, or if this half slab is actually going to help to keep the items kind of flowing in there. We'll figure that out when we get there. Let's see here. Kind of want some light sources though. Oh, right here. Perfect. Just put a couple right in here. And then that should be good. Okay, let's break this for a second. So now, and I had to figure this out, so I'm going to kind of go over it a little bit. It took me a second. You definitely need a solid block for the observer to look into. I tried putting a redstone dust here and it didn't work the way that I wanted it to. So as long as you have your light sensor looking at or your observer looking at the light sensor, and then that being fed into a solid block, so this solid block is actually being powered, and then you can actually have your redstone dust being fed off of this, as you can see on this side, this block right here. And this is going to be feeding both sides, so both of them are going to be going off at the same time. And what I did was I went all the way to the edge here, and then put a repeater. The repeater just gives a stronger, like a strength signal. And then the way that I had it go off is off to the side here, like this. And then just kind of have it tapered down. A little bit more room away from the window, I think. That's probably why I was doing it that way. Alright. So now with the redstone, you just want to go down the line here. And come off. You can't put the redstone repeater off there right away. But what you want to do is have one redstone... facing the other way. One redstone repeater here, so it strengthens the signal, so it can go across more area. You can also put a redstone repeater right here as well, so if you have any problems, it'll strengthen it. So now I just go across, put all of that on there, and then the last step is making sure that all of these are covered with redstone. We're already having productivity here. And as long as all of them are powered, we should be good to go. Now, there is one last step. Sorry, I keep saying that. But all we have to do is just attach this we just need to put another minecart hopper right there. Okay. Perfect. So now we have all these being picked up by... Oh, but they're going to be picked up gradually and then dropped off over at the other spot. And that should be good.